ask a few people something. One second.
Good idea, right?
That's great. Definitely. But the remote,
Let me
the
know.
question, the question is, how do we find that group of people and direct them to solve that bit?
Okay, all the members ready?
I can find some.
Okay.
There is someone else coming if you wanna wait.
Sorry?
10 minutes later, Sean is on.
I did want to start so early, just so you know. Okay. All right, we are now calling this meeting to order. We are now live streaming. Time is now 7:07 p.m. I want to thank everyone for coming to our June meeting. This is our final meeting for this year for the Public Safety Committee for Brooklyn Community Board 9. My name is Fred Baptiste. I currently serve as the chair for the Public Safety Committee. At this time, if the members of the committee could introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Lorianne Wolseley. I am a CB9 member.
Oh, so what?
Sorry.
Just introduction. Oh, introduction.
Oh, my name is Eric Wiseman. I'm a resident community board member. I've been living in this community for 60 years.
Good evening, my name is Joanne Carr, I'm a CP9 member. Ms. Life Munchkin, also a CP9 member.
Keep going, CB9 member.
I just wanted to start off just by saying, as I noted before, this is our last meeting of the year, and I just wanted to say thank you to all the members of the committee for all the hard work you've done throughout the year, and for the diligence and the thoughtfulness you've carried throughout all these months. It couldn't run without you, and I just want to express my thanks for all your dedication and commitment to this committee. Okay, so with regards to the agenda this evening, we're going to try and go very quickly. We're going to waive the reading of the rules of order. Just as a reminder for all those who are here, these are sometimes difficult conversations, but the idea is we just want to make sure that we're always respectful. And just please wait there until you're recognized. We'll give the floor to you. We want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to hear what you have to say as well. And if you do wish to be recognized and raise a point, just indicate to me, and we'll make sure you have the floor. Just to make sure as well that we're keeping it tight as well. We just want to make sure that it is hot this evening. So we want to try and make sure we're able to have an efficient meeting and get everybody back to get back home and into AC hopefully.
I'm so sorry, Fred.
Yes.
The park chair has requested the TV for a presentation, so I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can I describe it very quickly?
Did you tell them no?
Of course.
No, go right.
Sorry, guys. Excuse me, ladies. I'm sorry. Yeah. What do you need? I'm so sorry.
All right, just bear with us 1 second.
Yes, please. I'm so sorry for
Do you need a hand?
late notice. Yeah, that would be great. Sorry for the interruption. It would actually be better that way if Lori and Mr. Wiseman would just slide after.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a table move or?
No. If I go that way, and I get it out really quickly. Thank you. So sorry for the interruption. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone for that. Okay, all right, so we're going into item 4. Item 4 and 5 are just gonna be check-ins, updates. We don't have FDNY or NYPD with us this evening, but very briefly, just a couple of things I wanted to know for the committee. One, FDNY, I wanted to thank them because they were present at our community fair this last weekend. So one of the things that they were offering, and they have several offerings they do, they were doing rescue breathing. So they were doing training on rescue breathing, and this is a service that they offer. So, I mean, if anyone is part of a community group or, would like to take advantage of that, contacting FDNY will give access. They will come and do trainings for groups. So again, I just want to note them. And they've been very responsive throughout the year as well. Their director serves the entire borough, so she's not able to come to all the meetings, but they've been pretty responsive of letting us know whenever there's information or if there's access to different resources. So again, the rescue breathing was one of the things they did. The fire alarms was also something that I think was a great opportunity for the community to get free installation of fire alarms. So, and for those who are present and for those who are watching via live stream, the board, we do publish and publicize anytime they're doing activities or have resources like that. That does go out on our weekly e-blast that we have. And I would invite you all to also sign up for that, because any information that comes to the board with regards to the community or organizations or resources, that goes out on a weekly basis as well. So I just want to note that. The other part I did want to note with regards to NYPD was that myself and Francisca Leopold, she has a relationship with the 71st Precinct Council. We were actually part of a hiring panel. There is a new CO for the 71st Precinct. His name is Deputy Inspector Denaro. I forgot his first name, I apologize. But he is going to be taking over for the 71st. The previous commanding officer had some health issues, so he wasn't able to stay. So they swiftly brought him in. He should be in office now. He did, as part of his hiring panel, make the committee to come before the board. So as soon as possible, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it for the June meeting, but as soon as we can, we want to make sure he's able to introduce himself to the board and to the community as well. And we want to make sure we maintain a good relationship with the 71st Precinct, where we're getting the information and we're also able to give them back things that are pressing issues in terms of the community with regards to public safety. Okay. At this time, let me just stop for a second. Are there any questions with regards to FDNY or NYPD?
When are they actually gonna come back and visit us?
We're going to be working. Well, yeah. I mean, so part of the conversation I'm going to have,
More of NYPD than FDNY.
and that's one of the conversations. I will possibly be in some of them. The incoming chair for
Once
CB9.
every 2 months.
Well, that's the case. We want a much better cadence, and I think that there was some confusion as well over who's doing it. If it's community affairs versus quality of life team, or if it's the CEO himself. We just want to make sure that there's more regular and consistent participation. This is good for us to know, especially with the quality of life aspect of it, because that's a relatively new program. The idea was they were supposed to be able to address those small, the nuisances, so the noise complaints, the illegally parked cars, all those things, be able to take care of that. So it's good for us to get the data to see how good they're doing. Or if there are areas that we know that they need to concentrate on more, this committee has been very good about saying, listen, we also want you to concentrate on that because it's been an issue in the community that's been brought up, either here or at the board meetings. Okay. All right, but absolutely your point is taken. We do want to see them more. Okay. All right, we're going to move on. So we do have on the agenda a discussion with Common Justice. Is there a representative for Common Justice here? I don't think there's a representative yet. We will move in the agenda. We'll come back to them if they're there. All right, so we'll just move back to that. All right, next, item 7, moving along. This is more for informational purposes. This is for notices of renewals for the New York State Liquor Authority. So as we discussed as a board and as a committee as well, past practice was we used to see all applications, including renewals. We had a training session with SLA, and the understanding was passed to us that the SLA is automatically renewing licenses as long as there have not been community complaints, which go directly to SLA. So there's a couple of pieces of that. One of the conversations we are having, or that we've had with NYPD, is if they get complaints, they are automatically passing them along to make sure that they're logged into the SLA. So that's a good piece. That's a good forward step. But I still have concerns. Speaking for myself at this point, I do have concerns where I think there needs to be an accountability to the community. One of the things we want to make sure is that everyone who comes, we want to make sure businesses are able to survive and compete and do everything they need to do. But we also want to make sure that they're being good neighbors, and we think it's always a good opportunity when you're renewing your license to say, no, we've been here, we're part of the community, and kind of renew that commitment to making sure that we remain good neighbors. So that is not a conversation specifically for now, but as we're talking about our items we're going to carry over into the next year, that is something we are looking into. So with respect to that, just for information purposes, so Hello Bar on 1110 Nostrand Avenue is renewing their license. It's a renewal of a full license for liquor, wine, beer, and cider. We also have DEIA NYC, located at 52 Lincoln Road. They also renewed a full license. We also have Blessing Herbs and Coffee, doing business as Bonafi at 429 Rogers. They also renewed a full license. And lastly, we also have Cupcakes by Brenda. Is it Brenda? It was Brenda. Cupcake.
So Taqueria, that's their business name.
Right, Taqueria Patron Mexican Grill, located on 4951 Lincoln Road. They also also the process of renewing the full license. The only thing I would say is we are not acting on that formally, but for board members and for members of the community, if you do have specific issues or you know specific issues going with those licenses or those applicants, so please make sure you direct those to the SLA. They actually have a complaint section on their website. Also, if you can CC the board, because we do want to make sure that we're keeping track of these as well. So that way we can note these things and also, if necessarily, escalate or have meetings or interject to make sure that quality of life is not maintained.
I have a question on that. Is there any way that we can get some kind of laminated ID to show that we're a member of a community board when we go in and we with a badge that look not necessarily a badge, a ID card. To you know, to show them that we just not coming in there like, oh, I'm a member and looking at the place and you know, like some kind of ID. Is there any way possible?
But do you want them to do anything different?
Just don't want to walk in and start looking around and like, you know, people get suspicious a little bit and then say, well, what are you doing? And then,
I just say I'm TT.
Yeah.
no, that's even worse, you know.
No, I don't say anything. I just say we're from community board and we're just coming to say
Well,
hello.
I mean, if I walk in, I might be accepted a little different from two ladies over there, you know what I'm saying? So I just did a little ID,
Well,
you know.
let me do this.
This neighborhood is very diverse.
Right, and it's complicated.
Well, like I said, I've been here for 60 years. I know how difficult it can be. Any board member?
Well, because then everybody's gonna print up one and say, I'm a member of CB9.
Okay, now.
No, I'm being a little bit tongue in cheek with that, but I mean, let me say
Just
this.
say no.
That-
Erica?
No, I'm not gonna say no.
I'll go with you, I'll go together.
And get what I call it laminated?
No, she goes, I'll go with you.
If you go with me, then that's different, you know what I'm saying? You know how
She's a
it
party girl.
Unfortunately, you know how that is.
Salty and my mother be bed for bed.
All right. So stay in the military. We got secure the happiness.
That's a no, but anyway.
No, I'm not gonna say no, but I also let me check with the district manager to see if there's any other issues before we say let's do that. If there's any issues that.
Yeah, like I just go in and, oh, what are you looking around for or something? I just say, well, I'm just looking around, you know. No, don't agree.
No, I think yes, I think, I don't know, I mean, he's also talking to me, right? I walk in the room, I walk in the room. And so I don't really, and I think that like what you said is, it's here in the community, they already know the demographics. So what would kill you and you're only going, you're not casing.
I'm not gonna walk in like this, like, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm ever questioned or anything, or if I ask a question, then I need to present myself as somebody other than an outsider.
Well, let me throw this out, and not to make a decision on it. My thought is, if they are a business in the community, if you are a patron who comes in and asks a question, it shouldn't matter if you have a card or not.
Exactly.
It probably should matter. If they give you a hard time, that's a different conversation.
And that's the only time you would take the card out and say, well,
Not
this
even.
is only.
If they give you a hard time, then that you already know what you're dealing with.
Exactly.
And that's how, and you're gonna move forward with your role.
Exactly. In your role,
All right,
that's
either or, I just, you know, don't use, okay.
Well, and again,
guess
I just
was
offer that as a
but, I
viewpoint.
thought it was just an idea, you know?
I ain't walking around with no badge.
Nobody said a badge, like a little ID card or something, that's
Yeah.
all.
No, understood.
Nobody said a badge.
All right.
I
Okay.
did.
So
I did.
Oh, yeah. She said a badge.
I was doing this.
let's come back to order. I just want to make sure. We want to make sure.
Make up my own card?
Okay. All right. Let's come back to order because the applicants have been here. I just want to make sure we're good to get the applications at the time. All right. So we are now at item 8. So this is the applications for New York State Liquor Authority licenses. These are for new applications coming into the district. All right. So at this time, item A is for Plush BK Hospitality, located at 252 Empire Boulevard, corner of Rogers Avenue. The application will be listening to viewing this evening is for new liquor, wine, beer, and cider license. Do we have the applicant with us this evening?
Yes.
Okay. If you could please come to the front Actually, just because there's not a lot of room. From there, you can just tell us about your establishment, a little bit about how long you've been in operation.
We're not gonna be on the video though, so.
They
how
aren't,
you
but
guys,
for them to get on
they could just
camera.
stand like over next to where yeah, because it's not yet enough for them to
Yeah.
see who's speaking or anything.
I'm trying to see if they.
You have a
Yeah, we'll
video
move
for
over.
basic.
Yeah.
If I could ask you to just come stand right in front of that, that should be. That's good.
How's everyone doing? My name is Alphonse Smith. This is my godmother, I call her mommy, Deborah Middleton. We're co-owners of Plush BK. We currently aren't in operation yet. Like you said, we're awaiting the liquor license. Just to give you some background to what Plush BK is, it's going to be a Mediterranean Caribbean fusion restaurant. During the nighttime, we'll have more of a lounge setting for adults to come by, have a nice drink, enjoy some good music in the community. Of course, good food is the main thing. We also were made aware that we have a landmark facility location. So we have begun to outpour support from the community as they see us going in and doing renovations and coming out the door. And everyone has a story. And that spoke to me because when you're speaking to the people in the community and they're telling you like, I can't wait to just eat because I came here with my mom. And this used to be a staple diner in the area. We're so glad that nobody did anything for years. So, to not know that going in and to get that information, it makes us very ingratiated to the community. So it's something we definitely want to do. Of course, my profession during the day is I'm a senior account manager for Allied Universal for the Northeast region. So security is paramount in my everyday life. So it's also paramount in my secondary establishment. So we would have security around the clock during our hours of 5 to 2. My security team is primarily based off correction officers. For those who aren't correction officers, because of my secondary job, which is working for the Department of Homeless Services, I have certified peace officers who are also going to be serving on my security team as well.
We're all professional people. Director of our social service for nonprofit, tied from the city. Have over, I don't really want to say it's my age, over 50 years of work, So, we just want to have somewhere nice to come sit and enjoy, to relax. You get up for work, you go somewhere and have a nice little meal, just like I said, relax, so.
Also with the good neighbor policy, which of course is essential, we're very embedded in that. As she said, we've been working for not-for-profits for over 15 years. So we understand from many demographics, areas, locations, especially even dealing with the populations that we do with mental health, all the way down to families with children. We understand the good neighbor policy throughout. So that's something that also will be on our checklist every day. Making sure that the community feels safe, know that it's a safe establishment, understand that it's operating under all rules and regulations, and just making sure that it's somewhere that continues that aura of just an essential landmark in the community, for sure.
Okay, at this time, I believe the application should be part of the packet. We will go and around and we'll have members will have an opportunity to ask questions. Ms. Hardy, you want to start or?
Sure. So I'm looking at the application and it's saying, you said 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Mhm.
We have in this situation quite often where what y'all put into the form is completely different.
Yes.
So I'm looking at a form, it's telling me right now, Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to midnight, followed by Friday and Saturday, 5 p.m. to 4 a.m., Saturday, 11 a.m. Y'all can all read it. I'm saying this here for the record for those that are watching and later on, and then 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. So please confirm with me what your Monday through Thursday hours are.
So Monday to Thursday would be from 5 to 12.
Okay, what are your Friday hours?
Friday, Saturday, and potentially Sunday would be up until 4 a.m. And that's dependent on the liquor license.
No, it's not dependent upon the liquor license, it's dependent upon the community.
Okay, yeah.
Followed by the SLA, and I give you a hard time just so you
No
process.
problem.
So your location is across from private homes on
Yes, ma'am.
the I side of the block. It's a health center, and then it's a row of private homes. It's an apartment building, and then it's the post office. And then on your side of the street, there's 3 rent stabilized buildings. Then there's a lot, and then
Yes.
there's the restaurant. So my question is, first and foremost, I don't think there's any establishment in 11225 that's open until 4 a.m. Our recommendations from the board, from the committee, to 4 a.m. is extremely late, and I tell you why. And what I will say before I come across horribly is I strongly appreciate something that I have never seen before, which is a good neighbor policy that you've placed in here, right? Committed to quality, safety, and community. I ain't never seen anybody come here and do that before, so thank you for that, right? And so yes, what we are worried about is that, just here's a platform.
Yes, ma'am.
We strongly believe in small business. I be outside. Me and Lorianne, we drink a lot.
Come and join us.
So nobody, so you're not talking to somebody, yes. You're not talking to somebody who does not go out, who does not appreciate that I no longer have to get on the train and go out and enjoy myself. However, what we do quantify, and this is something that we strongly take the approach of, things that can't be controlled. Ever since Bloomberg some 20 plus years ago removed cigarette smoke from indoors of spaces, people come outside and smoke. It's ambient noise, it's crowd control. This is still a neighborhood that is still, people work second shift, third shift, people are across the street from you with children, etc. We can't control ambient sound, we can't control parking spaces, and we can't control it. This is a neighborhood that we have 7-day Adventists, we have regular Methodists, we have Hasids, and we have people who celebrate Islam and in other religions as well. And I say this because then that's a noise component, whether it's on Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. So this is what I'm asking is, can we committed to bring those late hours down? 4 a.m. then makes us a neighborhood that's a club. And this isn't a neighborhood that's like a club. So so our board, we've done this before, and I guess I'm kicking you off because you brought it to me, Mr. Baptiste, first, is we're probably gonna ask for the condition of those Friday, Saturday, and Sunday hours to be earlier.
Okay.
4 a.m., is anything in our neighborhood open until 4 a.m. in CB9? So we don't have anything until 4 a.m. in CB9.
Okay.
And we're dealing with the neighborhoods, we're also dealing with buildings that with makeshift construction now creates bouncing of sound off into other buildings. So it's a little engineering. So that's something that we also have to think about. So I'm going to make the recommendation that those business hours on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I mean, shit, right now, we have something that open until 2 a.m., right? That we didn't approve of, but the board approved of, but I'll save that shady comment till next week. But I'm just gonna make the recommendation now since we already have things that are there. Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m., Sunday until 4 a.m. Because you're gonna have, I see here, DJ, possible live musician. Are you using that lot that's next to it?
No, not at all.
Okay. At no time ever?
No, never.
Okay. So, Sunday, 4 a.m.?
No, I can understand your reservations, and I'm okay with conceding to the 2 a.m.
So here's the thing, we also have people that come here and concede to the 2 a.m.
No,
I'll give you a little bit of
Yeah.
context. So, you know, because I have an impeccable memory. We have people, I'm sorry, my pen is breaking. So we've had establishments come and state, hey, we'll work with you, and then they come to the board meeting, they tell another story. And when we go to our business section, we'll be talking a little bit more about that. So, 4 a.m. is really early, really late. And again, I'm already giving you what we're working with from a spatial perspective, is private residences don't always sign up for this. And I speak for a community where I don't even live that close to it. And the block that I live on, it's never gonna be an aspect of mixed use. So I'm just making the recommendation of, to end up my long-winded question, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday until 2 a.m.
Right.
Only because I know what's already in the neighborhood.
Right. So I understand exactly your standpoint. And also just to circle back to some of the things you said, you had mentioned the sound. One of the things that we took into account was very much so that. So we actually soundproofed our facility. And then our music system. We actually embedded it into the ceiling for that soundproofing to take effect. So literally, you can't hear music if you stand right outside the front door of our business because we kept that in mind, even at its highest volume. And like much to his point, when you come by, because we hope that you come by, you'll be able to experience that because it's not in a club-like fashion. It's very much lounge. So you can come and enjoy the music, come and enjoy the classic music, come and enjoy the music that we all enjoy. But you can do it at a volume that's not excessive or club-like.
True, but we still want to avoid that one person with a high-pitched voice, and I have a high-pitched voice outside of here that'll be standing telling a story
Right.
from 20 years ago outside smoking a cigarette, right? This is not something I'm making up. We all native New Yorkers, we all know about sound.
Correct.
And at 2 a.m. in the morning,
That's right.
if my child's bedroom is in the front on the odd side of the street, I don't want to hear that.
Gotcha.
You understand? And that is something that still could possibly happen, because sometimes people are not aware of the amount of noise that they do.
Right.
But just to make sure we'll move along, but you're okay, so I think when we get to the motion, to recommend, but just, you're okay with stipulating to 2 a.m.?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
That's all.
We'll make that.
And when you come to visit, don't you go outside and make the noise.
No, I don't smoke.
And show your ID.
No, I'm gonna walk up there with my bag. My niece is on the community board, she did not report.
Okay.
That's how I'm gonna walk in.
Well, we're looking to see,
So,
we'd
yeah,
love
I
for you to come by and see everyone, really.
Let's go.
Most definitely.
Yeah. So, do you own that property? I mean, are you renting that property next door to it, the outside
No.
portion of it?
No, ma'am.
You're only renting the building itself?
Correct.
Is that why you're not using the outside? Because it's not, you're not really renting that
Yeah,
portion
no,
of the
yeah,
property?
that's strictly in use by the landlord.
It's like a carport now there, right?
Yeah, it's empty. It's just an empty grass field.
The roof has a carport.
Yeah, but it's still,
It's not paid.
it's still like a sitting table with a chair.
From the previous.
But that's not part of your business.
No.
No.
It's not part of it.
It's not part of your business.
Okay, I don't have any questions.
Could you tell me a little bit about the renovations that you did inside? I've been to that restaurant many times, it was for 2 or 3 years, it was a kosher restaurant. And they took Toomey's Diner, they got renovated in, and they, I agree with you with the soundproofing from outdoors, you can't hear anything. However, they had the restaurant and then they also had the outdoors. So, but they didn't have any live music. I don't think they had any music. I wish they
They
would.
might have had background music.
Anyway.
I think they have background music, I don't know.
But they, so this landlord doesn't even wanna rent it to you, that
You're talking about
The
that
outdoors?
shed like?
yeah,
Yeah, so
well,
that's, yeah, but it's,
It's a whole area.
It's all
Yeah.
area,
Gravel.
they must have had like 30 cables out there.
Yeah.
no,
we're
that's,
not,
yeah,
yeah.
that's not in use in that
Okay.
capacity.
So you write in your application that you will have like live music, maybe some dancing, where?
Well, when we say dancing, we mean, and we literally
When I
mean,
was in there, there was just no room, it was very nicely set up, but there was just room to walk.
right, so
Tables.
at
You
a
can't
certain,
have dancing because that's a cabaret license,
So,
right? You could
I wonder-
two-step.
that's what I was getting to, yeah, I didn't wanna cut you
It's not
off.
a-
curious
not a
what
dance,
renovations
it's
you were
just, you
doing.
know,
You were trying to
you
make
stand up and you
people
do a
go
little
right.
move like
Looks
that.
this right now.
Yes.
Yes,
So
That
somebody
is
wanna
how-
get up and dance.
Right,
I did
yeah.
it.
Right.
right,
Minimum.
or
You're not doing no
or
boogie woogie,
at
it's just,
best.
you know, doing a little.
Yeah, or
Keep coming my break dance to is what you're saying.
Okay, exactly.
right, or at best, after the dining is completed, we can move a table or two to create a more space in order to, you can't electric slide in the aisle.
I mean, you can't technically do that because you would need a cabaret license.
Okay.
So, yeah, right, yeah.
Right.
That's all, yeah.
Ms. Carr?
Oh, yeah, so the question I was asking, is this what it looks like now?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're gonna keep it like this, you have already started the renovation,
Mhm.
and this was it, this is what
Yes.
it looks like.
Yes, that's what it looks like.
Okay, that's all I want to.
I've been around a long time around here, and I'm just glad somebody took that thing and did something with it, because it's been sitting there and just wondering, like, that it's not gonna be another 15-story affordable housing building,
Yeah.
I was, it's my concern, but, Good luck.
Ms. Wilson?
I share the concerns of the board. Concern more now is the Sunday till 2 a.m., especially being that Monday normally is a work day. So I do think 2 a.m. is a bit late for me on a Sunday. That's the only concern I have as it relates.
12:30.
So then what you recommend?
I would recommend like around 1 a.m. 1 a.m. Yeah.
Ron, we're here to work with the neighborhood.
All right, so, just with regards to what I've heard. So, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 12. Friday, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
5 to 12.
Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, you're gonna go 5 to 2.
Okay.
And then Sunday, you're gonna go from 5,
No, 11 a.m.
11?
because they open up at 11 for brunch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna, that's what I was gonna.
From 11 to 1 on Saturday. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You willing to adhere to those?
Yes.
So at next week's meeting, it won't change.
Yes.
I just wanted to add, and,
Hold on 1 second. We just
I'm
had-
sorry, I'm Amber Bell. With the Sunday time, that is more like when we have like holidays on like Monday, like that, it would be if the time would extend further like that. Not, it wouldn't be like, like a every Sunday type of thing. So it'd be more like how if Memorial Day falls on a Monday, then on Sunday it would be, that we will have extended hours. Yeah, that would be the only time that it would be until 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Would
Yeah,
be
but-
on those type of days.
Here's the thing, we can't guarantee that, and not everybody has floating holidays.
This is true, so we'll leave it at 1, okay, not a problem, we'll leave it at 1, okay? We'll get it work with it.
All right then, okay, are there any other questions from the committee? All right, hearing none, I will entertain a motion to send a recommendation to, approve the, application with the stipulated hours. Monday through Thursday, 5 to 12, Friday and Saturday, 5 to 2, Sundays, 11 to 1. Is it moved? Glad somebody moves it.
I do.
Okay, moved by Ms. Hartley.
Who's seconding it?
Do I have a second?
I do.
Mr. Wiseman.
Thank you both, thank you everyone at the committee, who took your time to let us come and present ourselves, we appreciate it.
Oh, we gotta vote now.
I know, but still, just to give us the time to just let us come and, I don't know, I'm a superhero.
No.
You didn't give me a chance to say something. You didn't give me the chance.
I'm waiting, I'm looking forward to your even coming by, really.
Oh, I'm gonna come by.
I know you are.
I'm definitely coming.
So let's just finish it. So it's moved and seconded for the committee. Is there any objection to adoption by common consent, or does somebody want to lodge,
Objection.
okay, no problem. All right, all those members in favor say aye. All those members in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Okay. All those members who wish to vote no, please state your name for the record. Okay. All those members who wish to say no, please state your name. Okay, nobody objects. Who wishes to abstain?
I do.
Ms. Cohen abstains.
I do.
Ms. Marchkin abstains. Okay, hearing 2 abstentions, no objections, motion carries. All right, so the recommendation of the committee is to go to the executive committee that you go before the board. Just in terms of process, next week, Thursday is going to be the board meeting. District manager, the district office will reach out to you and they'll let you know the appropriate time to be there. When you get there, it'll be a little bit shorter of a process. We'll introduce you. It's more for you to say hello very quickly and very limited questions only because it's going to be a very tight agenda next week. All right, otherwise, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for your patience because they did come last month as well.
Appreciate you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, we are now going to go, thank you very much to our members of the committee. We are now going to go to item B. So it's, is it Beanstable or Beanstable? Beanstable. Okay. Beanstable LLC, and located at 820 Franklin Avenue, corner of Union Street, and this is for a new full license. Right, you come right before.
Hi guys, hey, how you doing? I'm giving you these because we changed our branding. So everything is pretty much the same. There's also a bigger menu there for both food and beverage. We discovered that there's a Brooklyn High-Low Tea Parlor, and so we didn't want people to be confused and end up at a bar and restaurant if they're looking for tea, or vice versa. So my name is Ian Phillips. This is Kim Shaw. We are partners in this business, and we're also partners. We live together. We're partners. We live. It sounded like it was fake. We live on Franklin and Sterling, or rather, more specifically on Sterling between Franklin and Bedford. If anyone's checked out Bong, the new Cambodian place, we're like two residences down from that. So, just a little background. This space was previously Franklin 820. It was there for 10 years. I believe it came before you guys initially under a different name. I believe it was Crowbar, then DBA as Franklin 820. Dan Wilby was the previous owner-operator. We are not taking over his corporation. This is a full new license. I did want to reference that he was previously licensed till 4 a.m. 7 days in that space, and he decided not to renew his lease. He owns other bars in the neighborhood, in the broader Brooklyn area. So he has a couple places in Boerum Hill. And we are looking to just put a neighborhood establishment there. So I'm sure you've already heard, or if you haven't, I'll be the one to break it to you. Aggie's Counter is closing, the business that is right next to us. Various business concerns. I'm going to go actually after this to talk to them about sort of that process. But because of that and many other factors, we're sort of missing. There's a hole for another neighborhood gathering place, somewhere where we do food, we have beverages. And we really saw that when we did the petition process, which actually was a really nice feature of this process. We went out with a thing of lemonade. We sat out there for several hours on a Saturday, and the number of people who crossed the street to come talk to us, they're like, yo, I used to do karaoke here. This is where my running club met. This is where we did trivia, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So we are looking to put a very similar style establishment in there, but do a slightly more elevated food menu. Nothing super fancy. The initial name High-Low was because we wanted it to be a highbrow, lowbrow. To sort of fit the entire gamut. If you wanted to come in and have a $5 beer, great. If you wanted to come in and get a full meal and have a nice martini, also great. We really wanted to play across the board. My background, I spent 20 years working in bars and restaurants, running programs next to all the way from dive bars to Michelin style, 2 Michelin star restaurants, where I've run the beverage program. We're trying to apply all of that, but also really have it be a place like we would want to go to, like an actual neighborhood place we want to go to. So just to clarify, because I know we're going to talk hours in a second, we put in that we would likely operate till 1 a.m. on the sort of the school nights, so Sundays through Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. We said we would likely operate till 2. The actual license which we're seeking is a 4 a.m. Friday, Saturday. So not in line with the previous license that was there, which is technically still valid though inactive. And then to do 2 a.m. Sunday through Thursday. Our thought process behind that, because I know that there are a lot of reservations on timing. I was also at the community board meeting where Damon Gordon from Sisters, when we had that back and forth. I know that, so I don't.
He just came in live.
No, I know. So I don't want to have that process here. I want us to have an understanding of what we're talking about. So the reason we're asking for those hours, even though we will almost never operate those hours, is for exceptions. I will tell you right here that my sweet girlfriend doesn't want me, because I'll be an owner operator. I will be there 7 days a week when we start. She doesn't want to be there till 2 a.m. I don't want to be there till 2 a.m. We will be closing at 2 a.m. We're not going to be operating till 3. These are for the exceptional cases where someone rents the space out. That is often a big moneymaker for a bar or restaurant. We're not going to do that in exception of serving clientele, but if someone rents it out for what Dan did was he took a lot of business from the Botanic Gardens. Their license only runs till 11 p.m. And so he had a secondary business where people would come and say, great, you got married, you had a great time, and we can operate. And so we are not just closing down at 2. So for instance, we referenced the Knicks earlier. I will tell you there were a lot of lively bars last night at 3 a.m. And it'd be lovely to just capture some of that. I don't want to work at a bar till 4. I do that already in my spare time. I currently work at a bar in the city. And then also that Sunday hour, the very same thing. So if we want to capture on the occasional federal holiday, if there is another sort of holiday where we can capture that 2 a.m. for, typically it'll be like 1 a.m. close on a Sunday, but we can capture that 2 a.m. We would like to do a brunch service 12 p.m. Saturday and Sunday as well. So those are some things. Any questions? Any clarifications?
So you ratting
Oh,
out,
oh, oh,
you ratting
oh,
out
oh,
the
oh,
other
Mr. Watson,
businesses
Mr. Watson, Mr.
at 3?
We're gonna go across. All right, just because I know you're chomping a bit, Ms. Wolsey, we'll start with you. Do you have any questions?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, Ms. White.
Making a joke. I mean, you ratted out the businesses staying open at 3 and
I was in Fort
we don't
Green. I
like
was in
that.
Fort Green, so
Yeah,
coming over this way.
that's
Yeah.
kinda different than
I know.
we are here.
I know. Yeah. I was at there's a very popular bar over there called Fancy Free, which is a big mixed bar. Yeah. I'm saying in general there are bars that run until 3. A lot of them were very much celebrating.
But the bars that are open currently
Yeah.
till 3 is because of a directive that came down from the governor that allows bars to be open until 4 a.m.
Sure.
But it's just because of what's going on with the World Cup and
Mhm.
events. It's not something that every CB
Sure.
community would approve.
Sure.
So that's something
Totally.
that should be noted.
Sorry. What I was trying to say with that is that people are generally excited about celebrating, and we'd like to have a nice place for them to do that, so that they are not on the street celebrating, right? So that they're in our establishment, hopefully spending money, so we have a nice time, and we can pay our rent. But so that we all saw a lot of street celebrations, to have those indoors, so that it is not people out on the streets making noise for everyone else. Yeah.
I broke in.
Ms. Clark.
Okay, so my question is
Yes.
about the outdoor.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture here.
Yeah.
And this is right on the corner of Franklin Avenue
And Union.
and Union.
Yeah.
And there's, I'm very familiar because I have family that live on that
Of course.
block across the street. So, and there's 3 schools in the area.
Mhm.
A lot of kids come through there.
Yes.
So will these, outdoor hours? Okay, I see 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
So
So
we-
it's not for school.
Yeah, so we got that piece of advice from Aggies next door. They had complained, they were like, it's really tough being an all-day cafe because often kids are coming and sitting or messing with stuff. We hope to avoid that. That's the idea with the 4 p.m. Also, it could be a thing where we just put chairs out when people are ready to sit. But Aggies, as you know, right next door has a full outdoor space, and we would have technically we are able to, via the DOT and SLA guidelines, have outdoor seating that could go all the way around the corner. I only like having outdoor seating where I can see it. So indoors only go halfway on Union. We would maybe not even do seating there. We're not quite sure. This is all to do with that part of our DOT application for that.
Okay.
The sidewalk usage, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Monday, Thursday, 1 to 12, Friday, Saturday. All right. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
Ms.
Are
Marshall.
your outdoor seating
Yeah.
times different than the indoor?
Yes, so the outdoor seating would close, the general guidance right now, I believe, is 12 a.m. is when you have to have outdoor seating closed for noise. So we would do that, and also if our full kitchen service will be every day until 11 p.m. And then we'll have a bunch of food options that are available after that hour. But it sort of makes sense in terms of if people are trying to have a nice outdoor meal, that's around the time that they'd be wrapping up is like 11:30. I work at a very, very busy bar in Houston right now between Mott and Mulberry. We are a very, very busy bar, and generally what we do is we just feel it out. So if people are outside, it's very raucous, we kick them inside. We don't want that to be detracting from the community at all. So if there's any point in time where people had a couple too many beverages because they're watching a great World Cup game, then you pull them inside or you ask them to kind of leave. Yeah.
When did the previous owner close?
December 25.
Do you have any idea why he closed?
Yeah. So he operates multiple other spaces. Part of I'm sure you all know this in terms of commercial leasing, your property tax liability, you assume a portion of that property tax liability, and because the building was renovated over the past 10 years, his share of the property tax liability was very high. So he went back and forth. Dan and I are now very conversational. He's been really helpful with this process in getting to know the neighborhood a little bit, and also just here's some pitfalls, like we had to negotiate a sump pump being installed in the basement because it floods. He just said it was a lot. He was like, I have a couple other bars that just kind of overextended right now, but very much misses that being the neighborhood.
And when did you get involved? When did you start?
So I came on board in about March, and I said came on board. This is primarily me. Yes, yeah.
Last question.
Yeah.
Were you there when they filmed Daredevil?
I was not. Did they film that space too?
There's a bar in Greenpoint they filmed.
No, they did. I actually just saw it today.
Oh, that's cool.
It said Franklin 820.
Yeah.
Oh my
I'm like,
goodness.
oh my God, they're coming tonight too.
Oh, that's super cool. So we previously lived up in Greenpoint. There's a bar that they use as their regular bar,
Great bar.
and it was tough because you like the show, but also if your bar's closed half the time, they're filming. It's tough. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, could I just ask you, since you changed the hours to 4 a.m. on
Yes.
the weekends, are
Yes.
you changing the outdoor hours also on the weekends?
No, outdoor hours have to be capped at 12 a.m. You cannot serve alcohol outdoors in New York after 12 a.m.
After 12 a.m.
Yeah.
But if someone wants alcohol at 11:45, they can still get it because it's not 12 a.m.
They have to be inside by 12 a.m. Yeah. And as I was saying, we will feel this out. I'm, as I said, an owner-operator. I will not be like starting a business and then going to start another business. This is what I do. I run other people's bars and restaurants right now, and I'd love to run my own 3 blocks from my house so I can have a much nicer commute. Yeah. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Sorry.
I don't have any questions. I'm making a recommendation
Sure.
for a change in the business hours. I believe that one, it's not to be disrespectful,
Yeah.
but Houston and Mulberry is a completely different
Sure.
component. I think that people who have lived in CB9 and
Yeah.
people who moved to CB9 are expecting a certain level of tranquility and quality of life, plain and simple. Yes, congratulations that we now have bars and restaurants that we no longer have to commute to. But at that same time, we
Yeah.
still have a certain core demographic, even with changing faces. So I'm putting this on for us to make the recommendation of the change of hours. So moving for a motion.
I second that motion.
Hold on,
Well,
I gotta tell you the
well,
hours. We're about to-
well, let's do this. Before we make the motion, let's propose it and let's work through it.
Yes. So, Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Sunday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m., which within align with what we've been previously saying with other establishments.
I'm sorry, could you just read that again?
Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m., not 1 a.m. Friday through Saturday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. That was the call out that we had previously. And then Sunday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Before you answer that question, can you tell me your permit for the outdoor space? What is the times for that permit?
So all outdoor
All
spaces
outdoor
have to be
spaces at
closed.
12 a.m. That's, yeah, and that's not SLA, that's DOT.
Yeah, it's
DOT.
And this is, sorry, just a side note, because I wanted to answer this in the previous one. Cabaret licenses don't exist anymore. They repealed the law, so cabaret licenses and for businesses under 600 don't exist.
Thank you.
Of course. Sorry, we had to get very granular on a lot of these details. May I just make a small statement? Is that cool?
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
So part of the reason why we have hours that are, later hours, is that the business you do historically, especially on a weekday night between 12 and 2, that's not Joe Schmo who's going to work tomorrow. Those are service workers who have just left their jobs.
I know, I used to be a service worker.
No, I know. But so as you know that's your last drink and you want to drink somewhere that is a reasonable, normal establishment, not I need to get a beverage from the bodega and then go home and sit in my apartment. So that's always my place where I'm like, yeah.
So
Yeah.
here's my question
Yeah.
with the service worker, because I know
Yeah.
how many people that you'll have on your bar.
Yeah.
How big is it that of a difference that's gonna make it to your margin? Right? So we talking
Sure.
2 or 3 people between those hours.
But it's not 2 or 3 people. That's the whole thing. Is if you create an establishment. So if you go just north of Eastern Parkway, the Canaries at 4 a.m. bar, Crown Inn's 4 a.m. bar.
Just north of Eastern Parkway is now our new Williamsburg.
Oh, sure,
right?
I know.
Where we've eradicated
Yeah.
certain faces.
Right.
And it's been a complete shift.
Right.
Right? So that's something that
Yeah.
we need to be mindful of. I'm not here to be combative.
No,
I'm just here to
we're
speak
not.
about
We're having a
what we see
conversation.
here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
And
understand.
I'm be very honest with you.
Yeah.
In regards to the aspects of,
Yeah.
does this neighborhood need another bar? Do we need another restaurant? No, we don't. And also, a majority of the individuals still aren't people who truly are, damn, I need a drink, damn, I need a meal all of the time, right? It's just what we're also dealing with anything south of Eastern Parkway. And it's just, a lineup in regards to demographics. I like to go out to eat. I like to drink. So it's not about being against it, but again, we're not anti-business. I have to repeat this because it's many people on the board who make it seem as though we are anti-small business. It's not anti-small business. It is a 360 aspect about quality of life. And people do not sign up who have bought their homes 30, 20 years ago, did not know that they were going to have to smell secondhand smoke and noise and crowds, etc. And so that's only really that's the parameters that I only see.
Totally.
And those parameters are, I could take somebody making noise at midnight. I can't take anybody making noise at 4 a.m.
Right.
Especially at perimenopausal sleep patterns. So
It's too much sharing.
So yeah.
Even I had to walk with that.
Yeah. So even within those holidays, people work and people live.
Yeah.
Oh,
totally, absolutely. And again, the idea is that we are not. You have to shoot for the highest margin of license that you would want in order to operate within. So we don't want to have a 2 a.m. bar where we're constantly worried about closing because we're busy because our license runs till 2. If it runs till 2:20, that's great, and I'm happy to shut it down, get out of there, and go home because I'll be there 7 days a week. That's what we're asking for. Is not we're gonna somehow sneakily then be a 4 a.m. bar Friday and Saturday. It's we're gonna operate, and the hours on our door and on our menus will be 2 a.m. And then if we are within the letter of law and people are still there, and it is one of those exceptional 4 times a year, it's a July 4th, it's whatever, and people are having a nice time, not kicking them out so that we're still making money. Yeah.
I have 2 questions. I'm allowed to ask them.
Sure. Hold on.
So this is board time. It's committee time, right? So if it's committee, or are you asking from an aspect of being?
No, just as a result.
No, because I want us to make sure that we align in regards to our rules, right?
Well, what I'm saying is normally we would open it up, and as the first vice chair, we can give them that courtesy. But if we could, we're just going to go through the committee first, and then we'll come right back.
Yeah, that's why I asked. No, I'm going to say that.
That's fine. We'll let the committee go first, and then you go. All right.
I'm done. I made that proposal in regards to those hours, so I'm done.
Okay. Well, actually, you were the last one. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I have one question. I'm a little confused here.
Hi. Yes.
So this Friday to Saturday, it says 4 p.m. to 12 p.m. and then 2 a.m.
No, sorry, it's confusing there because
Then it should be 12 a.m.
No, because it's Friday and Saturday, because there's not a different distinction between a Friday and a Saturday on that sheet. So it's Friday, we wouldn't open at 12 p.m. It's Friday 4 p.m., Saturday 12 p.m., same closing hours on those days. Does that make sense? Yeah.
It's 2 a.m. outdoor 12 a.m.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's do this. So, Ethan, go ahead. What is your question? And then we'll come back to your proposal, and we'll see if we can come up.
Got a quick 2-part one. Okay, I'll run a while this. I'm kind of recollecting. The first part of this question is, I'm hearing some thoughts about like party hut and like outdoor drinking and that kind of thing. So I am curious to understand what you're gonna do. Let's say someone does order a drink at 11:55, right? When it is 12 and you're gonna clear out the outside, how does that happen?
How does clearing out the outside happen?
Yeah, do people like if someone is finishing a drink outside?
Yeah.
What happens next when it's 12?
So what you do is you do the exact same thing with last call, right? You can't like you tell someone, hey, you will have to finish this beverage or relocate yourself inside at this point in time. I'm wrapping these chairs and tables up. It happens right now. If someone has an issue, then you escalate that. You're like, if someone has a bigger issue, then you're like, well, you're sorry, I'm gonna have to remove this drink and you're banned from the establishment. It's pretty easy to wrap up these outdoor areas. It's the idea is that you work on folding chairs, so you can chain them up. Exactly, you can shuffle around. Yeah.
People get the message.
Well, not even get the message. I gotta tell you, I am like, I'm so excited to have my own place because I love the ability to make sure everyone feels both comfortable and safe in a space. And so when operating other people's spaces, sometimes you're like, oh, well, that guy's a regular. You can't say anything to him. But You could say something if someone's like bothering someone else, is obnoxious to other patrons, and that's the person you're like, hey, thank you so much for coming. You're gonna have to try another night. We need you out of here or inside. It's very easy. Yeah. So,
Appreciate that.
thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little solution oriented.
Yeah. No, that's great.
I like to understand how
Yeah.
a place can operate in a
Yeah.
way that, creates a good quality of life in the first place.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you always last call, obviously indoor, you're at your establishment during last call hours, but I would always last call people outside, so it's not, I ordered a drink at 11:55, why can't I drink it out here? Why didn't you tell me anything? Yeah.
Good. Second part of this question also is, so how, a lot of the time some people get worried about
Yeah.
people, drinking and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And leaving the bar and then being, abusive or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you plan for
Yeah.
people to sort of treat serving,
Right.
customers
Yeah.
in a way that, they don't potentially become a nuisance outside or do anything negative? Like, is there a sort of like an eye that a bartender might have to be like, that person wouldn't get any more drinks at this point because I can see how drunk they are, etc.
100%.
Right? So that they're actually maybe a little safer than if you were guys who did not open and someone just had a bottle of liquor on the street.
Right.
How does that differ?
You cut
Yeah.
people off.
Yeah,
You cut them off. I'm
100%.
sorry, you cut them off. I used to do it all the time. I
Yeah.
love cutting people.
No, it's, I love
Can't you tell?
it's the, I like that it was both figurative and literal. I like it. So something that you do with all bartenders in New York is they get something called TIPS training, which is alcohol-based training. And beyond that, again, I'm gonna be there. So will Kim. Kim will be there operating. We are also only hiring people, like I love giving people shots, but we're only hiring people who are bar industry veterans at this bar, to the extent that it is literally like, you need to know the neighborhood. We're hiring people from within the neighborhood as much as possible, because I would love people to also have a nice commute to work and to know their fellow patrons. But it's a very easy process of being like, if you're getting anywhere near kind of weird and I don't love what's going on, you can cut someone off permanently and say, this is the end of your night, or hey, you need to take a break for the next 45 minutes. I'm gonna get you something on the house. I don't even love doing that. It's kind of like a just get out the door. Thank you so much. But cutting off is a very clear line. Yeah.
So I don't have a
Thank you.
question, but I did want to say that of the much drinking and eating that I have in
Yeah.
CD9,
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of people who come out stumbling drunk and things to that thing. What I always reiterate is just basic regular noise of conversation, people telling stories, and cigarette smoking, and just crowd control.
Sure.
That's really what I think of. I don't think about it. I'm not, this is not prohibition.
Right.
It's just more in regards to cigarette smoke. Here's the thing. A lot of these buildings are mixed use, right? Stands underneath, we smoke, and then now it's going up into open windows in the summertime or AC, right? So those are the things that I'm thinking about. Have I seen people in the neighborhood intoxicated? You don't know if they're intoxicated.
Right.
But that's more of the aspect of spillage, right?
Yeah.
And or also just the normal things of smoking my cigarette and then come back in, but I have to be talking loud. Or I'm on my phone and I'm talking loud. And people are not always aware of that, especially when they're outdoors.
Yeah.
And crowd control. So that's really what I speak about. It's not an aspect of someone's having a drink. I'm disgusted because people drink.
Right.
That's come on. I
Yeah.
got a great heart.
Yeah.
So, So that's it.
Perfect. Well, I do want to kind of bring it back because I know that you had offered times. So let's kind of see if we can discuss that in terms of what's workable. And I also want you to the point that the member made as well. One of the things we need to do as a board is be consistent, because this is a very similar conversation we've had over several times before. So, and it is something that the board struggles with in terms of making sure that somebody at 4 a.m. all the way down, and they never got anything. Where why am I agreeing to this?
Right.
So we want to make sure. So could you repeat the times you would have requested as well?
Give me one moment. I can move on to the next application. We are 4 p.m. to 12. Excuse me. Here's the days: Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 12 a.m. Then it was Friday and Saturday, 4 p.m. to 2 a.m. Then it's Sunday, 12 p.m. to 1 a.m.
Well, we don't like Sundays.
What you mean?
I mean, I like the other hours, but Sundays. You know,
He
I
doesn't
think
like
we had a
those
problem
days
with
to work.
Sundays, right?
Right, but we also just for consistency
Oh, that's right.
components.
We did, yeah, the
Yeah,
one,
so
yeah,
we have to be
right.
consistent.
All right.
Right.
1 a.m. with
Yeah, yeah, I agree
Flush,
with
yeah.
So I think that, is that something that's workable? Can we work with that?
It's not amenable for our hours. So I would love to know how to proceed and whether there's another component of the process. I know that you all have a standard now of 2 a.m. across the board, and not 7 days 2 a.m., but 2 a.m. is your cut time. I experienced that at that meeting.
Exactly.
But
Maybe
I
we'll
think-
vote for you.
I would like to reiterate that there was an active license that if we had assumed would have been a 4 a.m. license previously. So
That's grandfathered from 10 years ago.
I know. No, I know. I'm saying that this board has passed 4 a.m. licenses. I know you have a new policy now. And again, we would like to reiterate that we are not planning to operate till 4 a.m. on a regular basis every single week, 52 weeks a year. We would like the option, should it come up, I would be amenable potentially to a 3 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and 2 a.m. other nights, again, with the idea that it would be a 1 a.m. actual, but that, if we are having an especially great night, Ecuador takes the World Cup, and, we have an incredible time, that we have the ability to serve slightly past our exact 1 a.m. That was proposed.
One quick question.
Yeah.
I want to ask, can you put forward some sort of plan? Because you heard the
Yeah.
concerns so far.
Yeah.
Can you
100%.
put forward some sort of plan to mitigate?
To ameliorate,
what-
yeah, 100%.
Let me just, I'm sorry to interrupt. You have to do that no matter what in
Yeah.
regards to the neighbor
Oh,
policy,
yeah,
in
yeah.
regards to maintaining your license, and regards to, this is primarily what I'm saying, again,
Right.
nobody's against the business.
Sure.
But what we are saying is that we do not want to believe and get into an aspect of profit over people. I don't want to be walking down the street
Sure.
or having a conversation in the neighborhood, someone say, oh, well, it's this many bars and this much noise, and then, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna say, come to the community board meeting, and then I'm gonna say, ask for them to pull the minutes to see who voted yay for
Sure.
those business hours, cause it ain't me. So I'm not gonna hold the responsibility, but I will drop time and I will say who signed off on it.
Sure.
Part of the execution of having any type of business,
Right.
you're supposed to cut off. You're
Yeah.
you're supposed to maintain a certain noise component. And again, this is not Williamsburg, this
Right.
ain't LES,
Sure.
right? The composition of the housing here isn't that. And that's what we have to be very, very mindful of, because businesses have life cycles, and just like you inherited a space before,
Yeah.
there'll be another space after that.
Sure.
And we're just trying to be mindful in regards to that.
Totally.
That's it.
All right, so, okay, well, let me just say this. First of all, thank you for coming and.
Thank you.
And being clear with your position.
Yeah.
And I can respect that at least.
Sure.
You're clear with that. So I think in terms of options, I think the committee needs to decide what are we comfortable with in terms of a recommendation, which we'll forward to the board.
Mhm.
You may differ with that recommendation,
Sure.
and you will have an opportunity to state your case at the board meeting,
At this coming board
at
meeting.
this coming board.
Great.
Okay. So at this time, so do you want to make a motion on your hours?
Yes.
Wait, can I say something?
I'm sorry.
Because I'm confused here.
Mhm.
Because on your application, it already says Friday, Saturday, 2 a.m.
Yes.
And then Sunday, 12 to 1 a.m.
Yeah, but
So
then-
you're asking to amend this?
Yeah.
So the
Right now.
confusing thing about this application is what I'll say, because I know that you guys have had now this a couple times, is this doesn't say what are your proposed SLA hours. It says what are your proposed hours of operation, and those can be different things potentially, depending on so if someone asks for a Sunday hour till 2 a.m., they're like, we only want to run till 12, but it's the one Memorial Day Monday. That's the confusing, that I found confusing.
It's not confusing, it's
Yeah.
putting the incorrect information here.
Sure.
That's what ends up happening, because then
Yeah.
when we see 2 a.m., we're
Yeah.
accepting 2 a.m.
Right.
Okay.
So if
I'm
you-
okay
you're
with
then
that.
telling us 4 a.m., that's completely something different. Now, if you put 4 a.m., excuse me,
Yeah.
I still wouldn't go forward.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, yes, we do know that there's a possibility of, most of the time, you're not gonna keep open until 4 a.m.
Right.
But just the mere aspect of it.
Right.
Because sometimes things can change.
Yeah.
And where people say, no, I would like to keep it until 4
Yeah.
a.m. So what we get a lot of is
Yeah.
people who fill out the form
Yeah.
as to how they think they should fill out the form,
Oh,
because they think we're not.
yeah, we're not trying to be disingenuous, sorry. This was these are proposed hours of operation, which is, proposed hour of operation to me means what are you thinking about doing, not what is your SLA application going to say specifically. Sorry, those feel like different things. That was my
Yeah,
confusion,
so,
sorry.
these were DLP.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's come back to order. So for the committee, so Ms. Hartley, you wanna make a motion to approve this application with the, if they stipulate to these hours?
With what I stated.
Correct, the hours you
Yes.
stated. All right, so that's a motion by Ms. Hartley for these hours. Is there a second from the committee?
These hours right here?
No, for the hours that Ms. Hartley stated. Monday through Thursday, 4 to 12. Friday and Saturday, 4 to 2. Sunday, 12 to 1.
Okay.
All right, so it's moved by Ms. Hartley. And seconded by Mr. Wiseman. And again, just to make sure that we're clear on the process here. This is the committee's recommendation.
Yeah, we know.
It will go before the board. You fully have the right. To go before the board and you can state your case.
Great, thank you.
All right, we're doing this, and I want to be very clear, we're doing this because the balancing act that we're trying to do is we want to make sure that we're totally business, you understand that you need to make your money.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we also have the balancing act we have to do with making sure that, to the point Ms. Hartley said, we have second shift, third shift, parents, things of that nature.
Elders,
like that,
senior
elders,
citizens,
seniors.
not everybody's under 35 anymore.
Exactly, so that's the balancing act we'll do, so.
Totally,
but you'll have that right opportunity to work with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right, so it's been moved and seconded by the committee. Is there any other questions, any other debate? All right, hearing none. Is there any opposition to adopting by common consent?
I have opposition.
Don't, noted, okay, so we'll take, no, okay, well, we do it, we'll do it on cameras. All right, all those members in favor, please say aye. All right. Work with me, y'all. All those members who wish to vote no, please state your name for the record. Any members who wish to vote no, please state your name for the record. I hear no one in opposition. Anyone who wishes to abstain, please state your name for the record. Wolseley is abstaining. Machkin. And Cohen. All right, so I hear 3 abstentions. Okay, hearing no one in opposition, 3 abstentions, motion carries. So again, this is what's going to be going before the board. You'll hear from the district office, they'll let you know, they have all the information. Absolutely,
Great. Thank you all. Appreciate it. And thank you for all the feedback.
No,
Appreciate it.
thank
Really.
you.
Thank you. See you soon.
Okay. At this time, we are now going to hear from the applicant for item number C, Petit Cafe 2 LLC, doing business as Sweet Sundays Cafe, located at 1034 Nostrand Avenue on the corner of Sterling. And this is for a new full license. Okay. All right, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Debbie. This is Felix Caesar. This is my husband. We are the owners of Sweet Sundays Cafe. This is our second location. Our first one is on Mission in Beverly, located in CP17. I've worked in government for about 10 years. My husband is an electrician and a contractor. We decided to open this location because I've worked in this community. I was the chief of staff in this community. I've done a lot. And it's kind of like putting the roots back into this space. This location is an extension of what we've done already. It is a casual dining restaurant. We're going to open our restaurant hours from, our evening dining hours from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Our kitchen and bar will close at 10:30. We are operating the cafe hours Sunday through Saturday from 8 to 4. We are also doing brunch on the weekends from 11:30 to 3:30. Anything else?
Just casual dining and just background music.
We are an American cuisine with some Haitian and French fusion. It's not a Haitian restaurant, just a taste profile. And that's about it.
All right, thank you very much. We are going to go around the table. Ms. Hartley, do you have any questions?
What are y'all doing about the intensity of the sun as it comes into that sunroom? Right? Am I lying?
No.
Right?
Yep.
And so like, this is just because you do get very overheated. So have you tinted those windows from the previous establishment? That's my only question.
We haven't tinted it, but
But the AC has been running okay, and we've put in a fan on other area, it seems to have balanced out.
Because it's only for a certain time of the year because of how where the sun is at this time of the year. But it can be relatively extremely
I sat there for about 5 hours today with this, I don't know,
Yeah, I would say.
$500 fan that he bought, and it cools that area down. So, yeah.
But that is a good idea. If it gets like maybe once it gets to 100 degree day, that'll be the test.
Yeah.
And if it's necessary, we'll probably have to.
Today was pretty hot.
Yeah, and I
managed
was
today that's not bad.
Right. Really what it is that it's just a small building and then it's sort of like it's sort of like a cascading aspect where it goes from super high to then 2-story.
Yeah.
And that sunroom where the sun is aligned for this time of the year.
Yeah.
It's always harsh right there, but that summertime sun is really harsh. So I was just wondering if you had worked on that. Outside of that, the business hours I'm aligned with, so I don't have any questions.
Ms. Barnes.
Hey, could I just confirm, I just wanna make sure, I think I wasn't hearing or I zoned out for a minute, sometimes I do that when I get upset. 7 AM to 4 PM, right? And then 6 PM to 11 PM?
Yes.
During the,
Thursday through Sunday.
and then on Sunday, it's 8 AM to 4 PM and 6 PM to 11 PM. So throughout the whole entire week, including the weekends, it's 11 PM, right?
No, we are closed for dinner Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Dinner hours only operates from Thursday through Sunday, from 6 to.
So that's why she said Thursday.
Yeah,
I think I wrote.
Oh, Thursday,
Yeah.
yeah, you wrote this over here. Oh, okay, I'm glad.
Because it didn't give
clarified
me
that.
the option to break it up.
So Monday to Thursday, it's
Monday to
7.
Wednesday, there's no dinner hours?
There's no dinner.
No dinner.
Oh, Monday to Wednesday, there's no dinner, so
Which
you
means
just close at 4 PM.
cafe.
That's what I heard, the 4 PM, and I'm like, well, I'm hearing something wrong. That's what I heard. The Monday to Wednesday is 4 PM and you're closed.
That's
Yeah.
The rest of the week, you reopen again,
Yes.
either at 6 o'clock till 11.
Yeah. It gives us about 2 hours to turn over from cafe to dinner. We are still operating the other location. We are 2 managers, so we're owner operator. And so we kind of bounce back, make sure we have the right inventory, reset staff. So it gives us that opportunity to do that in those 2 hours.
Okay, great. Is there an outdoor space at all?
No outdoor
No, I
space.
don't.
It's just like one little,
Yeah.
the previous place is like one little table and
Okay.
people loiter
No
around.
more questions?
We're in the middle of updating our framework for our application. The new application will have a separate line for when you plan to start, what time you're starting to serve alcohol. So if you could just explain to us what time you're starting to serve alcohol, because we have a lot of different times.
So alcohol on the weekends for brunch will be from 11:30 to 3:30. We do last call half an hour before we close, and that's the same thing for dinner. So it would be 6 to 10:30.
Ms. Carr.
Oh, is the place up and running now?
Yes.
How long has it been open?
This is
3
this-
weeks.
This is week 4. We've done like more of a soft launch just to get our bearings with that.
We are doing a grand opening on the 20th.
We got the invitation,
Oh,
thank you so
awesome.
much.
Okay, good.
I
Just want to make sure.
Any other questions?
No, no.
Ms. Watson.
I'm happy with the hours. Sounds good to me. I didn't get an invitation.
No, they said something about today, right?
Yes.
They said they invited to something.
Dante was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We don't get back.
I'm looking for particular things. I'm looking for. I'm happy
This
with
is
the
a
hours.
neighborhood.
Thank you, Ms. Watson. Ms. Wilson.
Private events, would the times change?
We're trying to keep it the same. Just because we have small kids, we don't need to be, elderly parents, all that. We're not trying to be past, by the time we clean up and shut down, it'll be midnight. But once we close that door at 11, we're gonna close it. Yeah.
And then the designated staff for crowd control, would that be like a book or?
So one of us will be operating, and then we have a third manager and a shift lead, which operates as a supervisor. So there'll always be a person that's responsible there.
Designated just for the crowd.
Designated for crowd, yes, which we do at our previous location, which is why we copied that model. We've been operating that location for 2.5 years, so we copied the same model because it just works. And we don't serve liquor there, but we have a really big brunch crowd. They still come without the liquor, so we tried to replicate what we've done there.
What is your second location?
It's on Nostrand and Beverly. Well, the first location is Sweet Sundays Cafe.
Oh. Is it BYOB over there?
No, yeah, it's very family friendly.
Okay. Any more questions? All right, any other questions? All right, at this time, do I have a motion to, send a recommendation to approve? I'm sorry. Oh, who's making a motion? Okay, Ms. Wilson will make a motion, and I need a second. Harley has a second. Okay, moved and properly seconded, it's before the floor. Last call, any questions, or comments? Hearing none, is there any objection to adopting this by common consent? Hearing no objection, it's adopted by common consent. The recommendation will go to the full board.
We all approved you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, again, just, yeah, so, and again, so the board meeting is gonna be next week, Thursday. The district office will get in contact with you, so you will come, we'll present briefly. It's gonna be short, we have a very packed agenda, but just basically, just a quick summary of what you just told us this evening. And, and we'll go there and that. Okay.
Thank you, appreciate you, thank you.
By the way, sir, that is a ton of liquor for my invitation. Okay.
Good luck.
Okay, all right, so listen, we do have a couple more agenda items. I know it's 8:30, I wanted, if we can go for about another 10, about 10 minutes?
Yeah, maybe 15, 10, like 10
Okay,
minutes.
if we can keep it, can we do 8?
We can do 8. We do 5.
Okay. If we can do 5, even better. Okay, listen, all right, for members of the committee, So we are going to go back. We have item 6, common justice. They were there, they came a little bit later, we went into the agenda. So they are gonna present for a few minutes. I do wanna do a few minutes just for wrap up for the year, just to, I know there are a couple of items that we need to discuss and just discuss.
I wanna be part, I wanna note down that we'd like to have a discussion during that time. So, a lot more than 5 minutes, based on that time.
When you say a lot more than 5 minutes.
ALOTT, that kind of a lot.
Oh, a lot, 5 minutes that we can do. Okay, all right then. So about 8 minutes and then 5 minutes for discussion for wrap up, okay? All right, so at this time, we do have a representative from Common Justice.
I could be really
Welcome.
quick. Oh, thank you. Hi, I'm from an organization called Common Justice. Is anyone here familiar with Common Justice? Okay, so we're an alternative to incarceration organization. So basically what we do is.
Oh, I'm sorry, before
Yeah.
the committee said we don't have to hold you hostage, so if you have things to do. If you would like to stay, we would love to have you, but if you do need to leave, that's fine. The committee's gonna continue.
You have to go come back for the general board meeting next week.
See you next Thursday, June
Thank
8th.
All right, I'm so sorry about that, please. Hold on, this is 1 second, just.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. See you next time.
Don't be there.
Just 1 second.
My ID card. I'm on the pad.
Okay, everyone, let's come back to order. We're gonna continue so that way.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yeah, so just real quick about Common Justice. We've been in Brooklyn for about 20 years. We're a alternative to incarceration organization. So divert people out of the criminal legal system who's committed a violent crime. They come into our system. It's a restorative justice program. If they successfully complete our program, then their violent felony is taken down to a misdemeanor. And then we also do like policy civic engagement work. So I'm here to talk about work that we're doing with community boards around resolutions around community safety. So I don't know if folks know, but there's an Office of Community Safety that recently been done. Yeah, he just started Office of Community Safety. They're hoping in time to make it a department. So right now what we're doing is working with community boards across Brooklyn, but then we're gonna move to Harlem and Bronx and Queens. But right now we're focused on Brooklyn, working with community boards 3, 4, 16, and 8. And I've been talking to Dante for a while. For this, working with this community boards, to host listening sessions to talk to community members about what they want the Office of Community Safety to focus on as they slowly but surely become a department. So right now, they're testing out different community safety solutions. Those are solutions that solve violence without the use of law enforcement, like violence interrupter programs, citizen patrol units, restorative justice, lots of things that people in the community are doing. More mental health facilities, more youth programming, more things that will help our kids outside of just locking them up basically. But we want to talk to community members about what they want these solutions to look like. And then after we're done talking to folks, we'll put a set of principles together, like a Bill of Rights for community safety, and then we'll put together a model resolution for all the community boards in Brooklyn. So I wanted to know if y'all are on board with this idea, if you have any questions about it, and if this is something we can do in your community board.
How do you feel about affordable housing going up in the community? Because my house is getting surrounded right now, and I think I need to do a lot for this stuff, groups of violence and things like that, because I'm already seeing it already. I live by the Utica Crescent on Utica Avenue, and I'm building another 7 buildings over by Winthrop Street in Kings County, and we're getting in Kingsbrook, and then we're getting, I mean, I could just go on and on, you know, so we definitely need something like this in the community.
Tell me more, you're saying because it's affordable housing being built, there needs to be more services for people in those units? Yeah. So that's what we want to talk to community members and figure out what they want to do to make sure that we're dealing with safety issues that might come up with affordable housing.
If I can ask this question, in terms of the outreach of the community conversations you're looking, is there a time frame you need to have this done by so you can move on to the next steps, or?
Yeah, I mean, we've already been doing listening sessions throughout Brooklyn, and I know that community boards, they take a pause during the summer, right?
We do.
So we will have to do it in the fall, which is fine, and we could do that in the fall.
Oh, so I just wanted to make sure,
And
so.
I want to talk to y'all too about like, well, when do you think is a good time and who we should be talking to? We could actually do a listening session with this committee, because y'all are the public safety committee, and we want to create a resolution that ultimately y'all would pass and bring to the general board. And we can also do a listening session where we basically develop a flyer and just reach out to your constituents in this area. Or we can do both.
No, well, I'm glad we started the conversation. Just in terms of logistics. So we're at the end of the year, so leadership will be changing, as well as the committee. So you will hopefully see many of these same faces coming back next year.
Okay.
But I'm not sure yet. But at the very least, if you're in communication, go to your communication provider, so Dante. And then right after the board meeting, there is going to be leadership. So I think that's an opportunity to do that direct engagement with the chair of the board to make sure we can set this up and we can, make sure this is a good conversation.
Okay.
But I think
Dante was thinking it's good to just start the conversation with
you. No, I think it's good that you started it here. I'm glad that you came. Like I said, I think that you probably hopefully see several faces, so that way it's not a start, a brand new hi, how are you doing? This is a matter of let's jump back on this and move this forward.
So come back, you're saying in September, Lisa?
I would like to see you back in September, but Dante and the new leadership will be able to, kind of guide in terms of what the next steps are and what's the best way to engage.
Okay, sounds good.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said people's coming out of prisons and foster care, so is this for basically young?
It's usually for young kids, for young folks, basically between the ages of 16 and 28. So they committed a violent felony. Then we work with the Brooklyn District Attorney's Office, and they refer a case to us, and then they come into our program, and it's a restorative justice process where we bring the victim together with the person who caused harm. But this larger initiative is just around community safety, just in general.
You said you was in that Brooklyn office open. Do you have a piece in mind, or so?
We have a Brooklyn office open for common justice.
Could I ask where it's okay?
Yeah, it's in 25 Chapel Street.
Okay.
Right by the bridge.
Yeah, right by the bridge.
Court office of CAP.
But what we want to do is have more conversations about this Office of Community Safety. And right now, it's just being shaped. And right now, people are suggesting that they do put an office in Brooklyn, but we're trying to get more of a sense of what the community wants.
I'm sorry, we did have another question.
Bringing it back.
Oh, do you have a question?
You can go first.
I'm still.
So, this, this seems very malleable right now. So I think that what we see very often is that a lot of people make comments as to how crime may be affecting them in proximity. But I like to also use data. So we usually get police reports from the precincts that are within this board that then, but it's very, very high level, right? We don't get the demographics. Now, for many years, officers are asked to give those demographics because we sort of see a peak or a spike with age and with race and things to that extent. And we know that also is malleable and manipulated as well, right? Because I used Sterling Street train station. I've never seen such a cornucopia of different races and ages who now hop or don't pay their fares, right? Never used to see this before. These young kids, now I'd be like, damn, you move to the neighborhood and you don't pay the fare, but what I say is that yes, we are all seeing certain things. Some of them are patterns, some of them can be one-offs to us, but then also I think that to move forward with us coming and reconvening back to this in September, we may also need some hard-hitting data and reports of what types of crimes that we're seeing, and if those are crimes of opportunity, where are they domestic, to piggyback off of, as you know, our neighborhood is seeing a reflective change, and we do have a number of transient components, and then we have seen a shift in some of our commercial streets, Nostrand, Flatbush. We see a larger scale of people who are panhandling, and sometimes that can be escalated, right? Because just because you ask me for $1 doesn't mean that I shouldn't be taken back because things are reflective. But there has been sort of also a loitering component, and again, it comes back to like quality of life. And so I think that
I'm just gonna take notes.
Yeah. And then this will be.
So you're saying so you want to see just like what type of crimes happening a lot in this area?
Correct, because then we then break those down from what is opportunity. Sometimes we have crime that is patterns because people are within proximity, but then sometimes we also have crimes where people travel for such, right? Then we have a breakdown of youth-based crimes, what types of crimes are those, because kids having it escalates into assault. The kids having a fight from after school is a much different component than a woman walking down the street and gets attacked, right? We also know it's different in regards to psyche. So I feel like before I can give you like fully committed information, it's also having sort of that data. Because I can tell you, somebody screaming because you didn't give them any money on the street is a completely different thing than us seeing muggings, and
also who's doing it underage
correct.
and all that
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
The conversations we're having, a lot of people are saying youth, the services for the youth, but you're saying there might be other things that need to be looked at. So,
most definitely.
Yeah.
Blame it on the youth.
Like with other
and you're saying
affordable housing
yeah,
in the
that's like
neighborhood.
loitering and stuff like that.
I mean,
Okay.
they got new buildings now, and I mean, if you've seen the people that they moved in, I mean, I'm a people person, so I speak to them, and they're 2 years coming out of a shelter and stuff like that, and it's like they're not wearing suits. They're just the same people, but they got the affordable housing, and they're in our communities. And they're ruining where I live. So.
And then Dante was telling me about the shelter.
They're ruining Troy Avenue, Winthrop Street. Yeah, we got 7 buildings going up over there.
We don't have a problem with affordable housing. We want to be very clear in this. Everybody deserves a chance, and everyone deserves a place to live in, and everyone deserves. and we're all people. We're all people here. We're all people. So I think that got a little bit slanted a little bit over there. It's not that. It's not that. We're all people here. We're all neighborhood people, community, and we just want to be a community caring for each other and just like making sure that we're making smart choices for all our neighbors and everyone that lives around us. Because that's really part of our responsibility, you know, especially being on this committee. And so we want everyone to really come through this well. And I really applaud what you're doing because I feel like a lot of kids or youth make mistakes, and that doesn't mean that that's who they're going to be their whole life. It's really not. And a lot of times it's just, you know, front lobe, whatever you want to call it. They weren't frontal lobe, exactly. They weren't thinking straight. They were impulsive. That exactly. And so we have to think on both sides. We're like constantly bouncing back and forth and saying, okay, we want to help them. Okay, we want to make sure that we're taking care of our community, the people in our community and our neighbors and this and that. We really want to come to like a really good middle ground that makes sense.
And you're not saying you're saying you have issues with the fact that what happens with affordable housing, but you're okay with
affordable housing. I'm getting 9 affordable housing in 5-block radius. He's quite sure of that. Like 9, 15 story. We got 2 12 stories. We got 7 buildings coming over in Kings County by where the Kings County facility was. We just got a new permit filed for a 15 story on East New York Avenue and Troy Avenue. And this is like, you know, and as a homeowner, this is not, you know, doing me, you know. Like outside, people have stolen my plants, you know what I'm saying? I used to have a pit bull, but it's come to a point where.
Stolen too?
Huh?
They took him.
No. That was the thing, that's why I don't have a problem now. He's been going like 5 years, and they still, where's the dog at? You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was. So I'm out there in the street. I'm retired. I'm out in the street. I told you how long I've been here. I've been around here a long time. I'm a people person. I hang out in bodegas. I drink a beer with them. I know who they are, and I know what's going on in my community. All right? I'm just letting y'all know that. And it's just a little bit too much affordable housing that they're dumping on us. And then when things get out of hand, because things was out of hand a little bit before this was coming, and the police, NYPD, they barely respond to anything. You understand what I'm saying? And just to tell you, I mean, our forces are going to other places. They're not coming to people like me. Like, I got 3 abandoned cars on my corner, and I'm flooding. That last storm we had, I was outside like this. The garbage is rolling down. You know why? People don't move their cars, and the garbage is coming down. So I'm a person like that. I'm fighting to save my house, and I don't need to be surrounded by affordable housing with people that just came out the shelter for 2 years. Not everybody's bad. I'm not saying everybody's bad. Some of them are good people, but.
Well, is this all under Mandani, or is this?
No, he only been in office 6 months.
That's what
that's nothing.
Well, listen, only because I want to be very conscious.
Maybe because I avoid children, right? Like I'm not out on the times that kids are out after school. So maybe I live in a bubble because I don't see that much in regards to youth-based violence, although I know that it is aware. I just know I used to be a kid, and I'm not trying to be on the bus or trains at those times. Most of the crimes that I see are committed by adults. So I think that, and this is something when we were at the 71st Precinct Committee meeting, they kept blaming everything on the youth. And I'm like, well, when I watch the news or when I'm seeing who's arrested, a lot of times I've seen adults. Yes, children, it's happening, but most of what I see are grown-ass adults. So I'm trying to find out, that's where I'm trying to figure out what's getting reported. Right, what's getting reported, who gets arrested.
Well, because I definitely, we gotta wrap up soon, because we have a couple more things to do. No, go ahead.
I am extremely confused by this, by what the goal is, and
Exactly.
over what group of people you're trying to impact, right? Because at one point you're saying, okay, this program is created to help those who were in foster care and also. Oh, I thought I heard foster, okay, incarceration, but like it
It's
doesn't
kind of
really
like
make
when I
sense,
said
and I think that
a lot.
I don't know.
Maybe you
Nothing.
can take us
Well,
through.
It had to go to the
Ms. Mosley, let me say this.
So for me, reading this, it doesn't make sense
Well,
as to who you're trying to impact and what's the purpose. Who are you trying to create a solution?
Well, if
For
I
the
can.
community or for those who were incarcerated, who had violent crimes or convictions, and then I think this is.
And let me say this very quickly.
Did you ever have like
Well, let me say this, and I apologize because I know we kind of did you short shrift last. Like, you want instead of giving you a fulsome presentation, I told you summarize it in 5 minutes. So I'm sure there's a lot of information you want to cut. But I want to be very clear. I think that this is a conversation that is really in purview, and this is really up our alley as Public Safety Committee, talking about community justice. What does public safety look like? How do we make sure it's just? How do we make sure we're restoring people, like, just to the point that was raised before, it's not about destroying lives. People make mistakes, and I'm glad to hear that there are programs where it's like, sometimes you can rehabilitate, sometimes you can give people tools so that way they can do better, they can learn from that, and be productive members and, contribute to the community. Bigger conversation than I apologize.
Just to answer your question, just to kind of like bird's eye view, the main goal of these listening sessions is to give this Office of Community Safety that was just developed in March a set of recommendations on how they can deal with community safety, how they should structure their office basically. And that requires more of a conversation about what this office is and what their current goals are. And time for that. But that's the overall goal of the listening sessions, is to form this new office that's coming out of the Mandani administration. Because right now it's office, and right now they're trying to figure out what solutions work best in communities most impacted by violence.
Okay, so I think the stress that you placed on the incarcerated and mitigating.
That's who we are as an organization. Yeah, it's not part of this initiative. That's what common justice does. But it's not part of what it is. Two separate things. Yeah, that's just what we do. That's what we do. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not to like go through this really quickly. Yeah, but thank you for the question.
But again, this is a to be continued.
Okay.
So definitely stay in touch with Dante.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do for the next week is engaged, absolutely. But we'll make sure that you're definitely plugged in with the next the new leadership when they come in.
Okay.
And if I am still here, and if hopefully the members are still here, we definitely love to have you come to the conversation.
Okay, cool.
So we can build this the right way to make sure that we're able to do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions too. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So now at this point, again, this is the last meeting of the year. Again, I do want to thank everybody. I know we do have some last hits that we would like to talk about, some things we want to discuss. I do know that there were some things, at the last meeting, we were not able to address that as part of the agenda. We can discuss if you want to actually formally discuss that, but it's going to have to be very quick because June is going to be tough. Because we do have the elections.
Right, you're giving advice as to how to do it really quick.
What I'm saying is, emotion is really quick. The level of conversation is probably not as much. Just to kind of talk about it a little bit, I know that there's a feeling about a frustration. Let's call it what it is. A frustration, because I know I have you here from 7 o'clock, and we are now approaching the 9 o'clock hour. And I know that there have been a couple of times where, to be blunt, I know you felt disrespected in terms of, because you do this and you've heard the arguments and we've done this and we've done the negotiations. You sit in the room.
And we've all come out of our house for an hour and a half.
And people disagree when they get to the board.
Or they come and influence the committee meeting, okay, which is what we saw tonight. Or also at the board meeting, here's the thing. What is the purpose of the committee? What is the purpose of the committee? If we then bring these proposals and explain to the board, listen, this is the overall purpose. Right. Now, what I believe maybe one of the components is that when we, as the committee, speak at the board, we don't always execute it. I know I don't. So let me not say, I'm not speaking French. I know that when I'm speaking to the board about what our recommendations, it doesn't come across as a recommendation. It comes across as though I am battling with the board. I will be very honest with you. I respect, and I'm not here to bullshit. I respect everyone on this board. I think that this committee, I don't respect the board. This committee is very insightful and very mindful, and I appreciate working with every single one of y'all. I don't like working with people, right? So now when we then take what we say, because I'm very passionate about it, when we then go to the board, it's a game. It's a game. I've never seen such high levels of, first of all, I know that you guys were here back in April for 90 minutes for one specific person. Then they come, flip the script when they come and meet. The board just goes on line with it. We're not against small business, okay? We're not against small business. I don't like taking my business outside of the zip code, right? However, we have individuals on this board who, for many reasons, they are passive, they are not fully informed, right? And I think sometimes they just vote to be contrarian because some of us are a little bit more outspoken. And so sometimes I think that they're just going against it. Sometimes I think that they're just going against it because I'm paranoid and I believe that we have ops within this board. So I think that people are just being opposing because the long-term agenda is divestment and Black erasure. So that's a whole, I'm not even gonna get on that. But what really sort of behooves me is that we sit here, we do this. We don't sound stupid. I know I don't. But we don't sound stupid when we are speaking about why we're creating these parameters. And then someone comes in and says something like at the last meeting, which is, I like this guy because he lives in the neighborhood. That is not something that should have even been said out loud. Yes, we all vote for however we vote, but it shouldn't have been said because then it comes across as influential, right? And then that devises, it deconstructs everything that we sit up here and do. They actually go to some of these places. I use Google Maps. I already do some of the data and look up some of the places. Some of the places we already know. And then somebody comes in and tells us that what we're doing is stupid because they believe that having a drink at 3 a.m. in the morning constitutes the entire disruption of the quality of life of every single person on that block. And then, let me tell you, those same people that do that, in 4 or 5 years when Crown Heights ain't cool no more, or they priced out, or they go back to the burbs, and I always say, a lot of people on this board treat being on this board like either it's really great for their resume, or that it's just a study abroad program. And then when they go back to West Bubble Funk, excuse my language, they're gonna say, oh, I spent a little bit of time on the CB9, not knowing the long-term issues that they've created. That sometimes people end up moving because it's too noisy. People are just sort of tired of sort of this level of, we are in of hypergentrification. And it's not that anybody is against it. I think that I give a solid, respectable explanation, but then we come to the board every month, and every month people are they don't even come and ask us, hey, how did you come to this? What made you guys come to this? There's no respect for us. It's a game. And people are wasting time.
Especially when an entire board is voting on something and not one question was asked.
Not one question is asked.
Understood. No, well, let me say this. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing. Well,
I'm done.
Let me do this. I know Ms. Wilson, I know you came last meeting. I know you had several things you wanted to add to.
I just hope whatever I said at the last meeting be added to the notes. Although we didn't have quorum,
Right.
I did make a number of comments.
Yes.
You should make those again today because
We weren't
technically
here.
there are no minutes from last meeting
Because
because we didn't have a
quorum.
meeting. There's nothing to record.
Well,
So what you said
really
last week,
say
say them
it
again today.
Yeah.
Last meeting.
But basically everything that was said by you two, it's very discouraging to take the time out of my very hectic day to come to these meetings and put in the work. I ask the questions, we all ask the questions, we all seek knowledge, and we all say, hey, we're not against small businesses, we're not against any business, but it's the fact that we say, hey, this is the standard we're gonna go by, this is what we're gonna hold every business to, right? Because I like being able to go to sleep at 2 a.m. on a Saturday and not hear music outside my door. And so we set the standard, and then 2 weeks later we go into this board meeting, and they don't even ask the questions. They're just like, oh no, we're gonna vote.
We like the way he looked.
Yeah, I like this person. And I was not at the April meeting.
I like the way everyone looks. What does it have to do?
Yeah.
Very attractive.
And that's why. And
Y'all look marvelous.
My last thing is that's why one of the businesses I didn't even vote, because I'm just like, I'm not even going to put my thoughts out there, because I know when they get on the floor they're gonna be like, I want it until 5 a.m. They're gonna say whatever time they want. Right? So that's why I'm not even gonna vote. Am I against their business? No. Will I probably visit their business? Absolutely. Would they spit in my drink? I don't know. But with that being said, it's very discouraging to take time out. We're all professional people. I'm very busy. I was in hearings from 8 a.m. this morning until like 5:30 today. So like, I'm a very busy person. We're all very busy, but it's just like very discouraging that we put in the work, and when we actually go to these board meetings, it's like they do whatever they want.
Middle finger to us.
I want to just now that give me a minute. So, for me, also one of the biggest things is that it became unethical, because we sat here and we told many people that came in here that we have a framework of 12 a.m. during the week and 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday was like iffy. Okay, maybe we'll do 1, maybe we'll do 12. And then all of a sudden, we like the way this guy looks, and we gave him 2 a.m. across the board the entire week. So what does it show? I am doing something unethical. I am improving something that I told all these other people before them, because I didn't like the way they looked, that they couldn't keep their business open for that amount of time. It's a matter of ethics at this point. And that's why I'm